Hey girls, welcome to another episode of High Energy Girl. And on today's show, you are going to talk to me about ways that you can look younger. We're talking beauty tips, fashion tips, and more.
You strive to keep your family healthy, bosses and employees happy, and the home life smooth. But now it's time to focus on you. This is High Energy Girl, a fun show focused on helping you get healthier and feel amazing. It's time to ditch the excuses and start living your best life. Here's your guide to help you increase your energy and empower your life. Health coach and personal trainer, Tracee Gluhite.
Give a woman a fish, feed her for a day. Teach a woman to fish, feed her for a lifetime. Teach a woman to fish, end world hunger. Have you ever wanted to help people improve their health journey? Have you thought about coaching people with a keto lifestyle? Would you like to become an integrative health coach? Well, the Institute for Integrative Nutrition, or IIN as we call it, is the largest nutrition school in the country. And in 2011, I graduated from their program and became a health coach. It was completely awesome. We learned over 100 different dietary theories and talk about craziness and confusion. My wish for you is that we can lock arms and create a tribe of health coaches all around the country, all around the world to spread the keto message. If this resonates with you and you would like to look into this option deeper, please go to my blog at highenergygirl.com and click on the link to the right of the homepage. Here you can grab the curriculum guide and see if it inspires you. Since I care so much about my listeners, I negotiated the very best tuition rate for you at IIN. Either you can contact them directly and give them my name, or I will introduce you to a counselor so you can decide if this is a good fit for you and your career goals. Let me know how I can support you in this coaching career opportunity. And don't forget to join our Facebook group, High Energy Girls. That way we can be in contact and chat every day. Sorry that I missed last week, you guys. This has been an absolutely crazy month of travel. Like literally, I hardly never go anywhere. But the month of September, I am gone 3 out of 4 weekends. And so really, truly, I'm only here about half the month. So I've totally fallen off my schedule for everything. And yeah, I just want to apologize up front. But on today's show, I thought that I should talk to you guys because it's been a while and I've had, guest interviews who've all had just amazing, great tips for how you can actually live a better life. And so somebody was asking me about like beauty tips for over 50 and things like that. And while I am not saying I'm beautiful or anything like that, I've tried to live a healthier life at least in the last 12 years or so. And so there's some things that I know that we can do to actually make ourselves look a little bit younger. And so one of those things is dressing, like how we dress and if you're dressing your age or not. And it's so fun to be fashionable, but there's ways to be fashionable without looking like your son's girlfriend. And my sons, all have girlfriends, and the one that I'm closest to is living local, so I always get to see her cute little outfits. And 9 times out of 10, I wouldn't wear them unless, of course, they're gym clothes. But she looks amazing because she's got the beautiful long legs and the long blonde hair, and she is just an absolute doll. So anyways, now I'm not saying to ditch your thong, your G-string, so that you don't have any panty lines for some granny panties, because we don't want that. I'm not saying to wear mom jeans instead of your fashionable skinny jeans. But if you dress a little bit classier than your daughter or your son's girlfriend, then you'll be able to actually rock your outfit with pride and just look amazing. So some of my tips on clothes is for business. I really love Ross because I find the cutest dresses by Calvin Klein and Ralph Lauren there. They are amazing and they are just a fraction of the price, because normally if you go to Macy's and buy these dresses, you're going to be paying well over $100. But for these dresses at Ross, we're talking like $40 or $50. And so when I wash them on the gentle cycle, and then I hang dry so that they stay really nice and form, and then I don't have to iron them. But I'm telling you that they've got great fashion, great prices, and very, very great quality. And then for the casual wear, jeans are great, right? Like all jeans are great as long as they're not like too young or too old. Like we do not want to wear mom jeans. Like let me tell you right now, do not wear mom jeans. But then there's the balance, right? Because you don't want to wear the rip to shred jeans that the 20-year-olds are wearing. So find a balance in between. And once again, I'm going to tell you, I found a bunch of choices over at TJ Maxx, and they are super duper cute. And the other thing we're going to talk about is cleavage. Okay, so while showing a little bit of skin is fine, we want to feel sexy in our skin and we want to be a little bit flirtatious, but there is a time and a way to do it, right? So you don't want to be showing major boob. Okay, so there's ways to cover up. Like if your outfit is a little bit too low cut, they have these really cute crisscross bras in front. They're more like a bralette, I think they're called. And I got one at a local boutique. Actually, my really good friend, Susan, got it for me because she wears them all the time and I was complimenting her. So next thing I know, on one of our walks that we take regularly, she showed up with this cute little bralette with little crisscrossy. And the reason I love it so much, you guys, is because it does not have an underwire. Okay, so tell me you agree with this right now. If you wear an underwire and you're going to work all day and you come home, what is the first thing you want to do, right? It's rip that freaking bra off and just go braless. Well, with these bralettes, without the underwire, you don't need to do that. And there's another thing with that. So I heard a long time ago that the tribes back in native lands where they do not wear bras, those women have a way lower risk of breast cancer. Now, I'm sure there's more to it than that way, but they say if you let your tatas free more often, that you're not restricting blood flow, and so it does improve your risk from breast cancer. Now, I'm filing a full disclaimer with that statement, but that is definitely something that I've heard, and it does make sense, okay? So tip number 2 to be younger, okay, or I shouldn't say be younger because you are what you are, but to feel younger and to appear younger is sleep. Now, if you live in the Bay Area like me, you are used to living in busy land where everybody is just working, grinding, slamming away. And when you have free time, you usually fill it with something else, okay? But sleeping your way to youth is super important. And there's some reasons for this. So when you're sleeping, that's when your body repairs itself. We're talking cellular repair, your face repairs, your skin repairs, everything repairs. And the juicy sleep hours are from 11 to 3. Now, you're obviously going to bookend it because I'm not saying to get 4 hours of sleep. Ideally, we want to sleep until our bodies naturally wake up so that we're not waking up to an alarm. We're not having a forced wake up where, we're shattered from our dreams by this screeching noise and it gives us the surge in cortisol because it stresses us out and it's flight or fight response, right? And we don't want that. Ideally, you're sleeping until your body naturally wakes up. And it's so funny because my husband and I went away last weekend and we went to a coastal area. And so it was really foggy in the morning and the room was dark. And, I keep my windows open at night. And so I wake up earlier than the light, but I would never, ever sleep in. But on this trip, I slept until 9:30. I'm like, oh my gosh, I guess my body really needed it. So typically I sleep from about 10 to 5. And that's my normal sleep hours. And yes, I do set an alarm because I don't want to miss my boot camp classes or miss working out with my workout partner because those are really important. But during sleep is when our growth hormones kick in and our body does all these miracles and they actually help heal our body. Okay. So when you get really good, juicy sleep, you're not going to have such a dragged out, exhausted looking face, right? So your little black circles under your eyes will go away. Your red eyes, you're not going to need the Visine in the morning. Now, a lot of people tell me, well, I can't sleep. I have a hard time sleeping. So here's what I do. And if you take some of these tips, maybe it will work for you. Okay, so step number 1 is instead of looking at any blue screens at night, I read a book. And that actually helps your eyeballs go to sleep, right? Because you're reading and you get more tired. Whereas if you're binging on Netflix, you're going to want to watch the next episode. I know how it goes. I used to do it. And I don't do the Netflix binge watching anymore at night because it kept me up too late. But a book makes me more sleepy. And I'm talking like an old-fashioned book where you turn the page, okay? Not your Kindle, which I have a Kindle. I love my Kindle. But the Kindle light, the blue light that comes through, actually it like inhibits melatonin production, which is your body's natural sleep hormone, right? So you don't want to do that. And if you have to use your Kindle, there's ways around it. Like you can put a blue screen or blue light filter screen on your Kindle, or you can wear amber glasses, okay? Because the amber glasses will filter out the blue light anywhere you're looking around your home. So if you have fluorescent lights or the television or your computer or anything, the amber glasses, they look really silly and you have to get used to them, but they are effective. And the brand that I have is called Swanee, and they work really, really well, okay? So, and then also you want to have some quiet time before bed. You don't want to just go from laptop to bed. No way. You want to do some preparation. Okay, so you want a nighttime ritual. So some of my favorite nighttime rituals are stretching and foam rolling, all right, because then that way you're kind of just relaxing those muscles, and taking a hot bath before that is really good because then you're warming up those muscles before you stretch them and foam roll them. And some other things I do besides flossing and brushing and doing all the gazillion steps of cream on my face is I take magnesium pills. It's like the magnesium citrate or magnesium glycinate, either one works. Everybody reacts a little bit different to them, but I love my magnesium. About 400 milligrams is great. And then I also use this topical foot balm that my friend Susan makes called Magnesium, which will be available very soon for purchase because it's just so rockin' good. She's a flight attendant and she started using this stuff, and long story short, she flies international and she loves it. Like she lives for it. The other thing you want is a cool, dark room. So I love my room, but I wear this eye mask that is super cool. Like it's really soft, and I have a special soft pillowcase, and I have a ceiling fan, and I have a floor fan. So like I have both. Like I love being cold with blankets on. And you know how it is, right? You put both feet out, it's too cold. You put both feet in, it's too hot. So it's like Goldilocks. You just want one foot in and one foot out, and then it's just right. And that's what I do. Plus I wear earplugs and I wear a mouth guard because so much of the time we're very, very stressed, and most people need a mouth guard so you don't like grind and wear down your teeth. And I'm in the dental industry, so I know how important that is, okay? So that is a lot of steps, you guys, but let me tell you, they're all worth it. The white noise of the fan and the earplugs combined help me get some really good, juicy sleep. So my husband comes to bed way later than me because he was a workaholic and a night owl. And so when he came to bed in the past, I'd feel him turning on the light. I'd hear him reading his book. And so like it would disrupt my sleep. But now with the eye mask, I don't see the light. With the earplugs and the white noise on my fan, I don't hear him. And so I sleep right through. The other thing is you want to make sure that you do not eat food prior to bedtime. Like at 3 hours is the magic window, and that way your body's energy is not spent digesting your food when you're sleeping instead of doing cellular repair. Okay, so you want to make sure, and also don't drink water prior to bedtime. So I always say to clients, drinking water is another tip, which we'll get to in a minute. But make sure that you drink like your liter by 9, 12, 3, and 6. And that way you're not up in the bathroom all night. Okay? Super important. So you want to make sure you get your sleep and make that a non-negotiable contract. Like literally, if you're like turning your lights out at 10 o'clock, then you go down to your room and start prepping for bed at 9. All right? So that your body can actually enjoy the lovely, wonderful, cozy, soft bed and sleep, because you will look and feel way better. Okay, tip number 3 is the way you eat. Now, we know, at least I hope you know, that sugar creates inflammation in your body. And what do carbs turn to is sugar. And that means every single carb turns to glucose. That's the way it metabolizes. And sugar and glucose create inflammation, and those actually inflammation is what is the root of all disease. And you can argue about that all you want, but it is true. Inflammation is the root of all disease. And the other thing that's really important to note is cholesterol is your mother hormone. Okay, so from cholesterol comes pregnenolone, and from pregnenolone comes progesterone, estrogen, testosterone, and DHEA. So what happens is they all say, okay, don't eat any eggs, cholesterol is bad for you, which is a bunch of BS. I have an entire podcast on my other show, Be Well, Be Keto, about cholesterol. And I've read 2 books, I've watched documentaries, I've read a lot of research, different studies on it. And it's pretty funny because the cholesterol that you eat actually has an inverse relationship to the cholesterol in your blood. It's kind of crazy because your body needs cholesterol. So if you're not going to eat it, your body's going to produce it for you because it needs it. And typically it produces more. Okay. There is, I think it's called Cholesterol Code, and it's a website. And this guy, Dave, oh gosh, okay, I can't remember his name, but he tracked his cholesterol for like a lot of days. I want to say 30, 60, or 90 days. I can't remember. It was a long time. And he would track how much cholesterol he ate and then how much cholesterol his blood was. And there was an inverse correlation, and it showed up, I believe, 48 hours or 2 or 3 days after he ate it. You can see it. So if he mirrored it and turned it over and slid it down 2 or 3 days, it was like almost a perfect match. It was crazy. So don't be afraid of eating cholesterol. Most people who die from heart disease have normal cholesterol levels. And I am not a doctor, but I will say, no offense, but doctors study medicine and disease. Health coaches, fitness people, nutrition people, we study wellness and nutrition. And there, Hippocrates, way back, I don't even know what year it was, but he said, let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food. And there are ways that we heal our body, just like the ancient healers with food. Okay, so cholesterol is your mother hormone. It's really, really good. And you want to eat healthy. So I recommend a high fat, moderate protein, low carb, ketogenic diet, unless you have a lot of disease. And then we're going to do a therapeutic ketogenic diet. And if you have questions about that, we will talk. But some of my favorite foods would be avocado, grass-fed ground beef, eggs, lots of vegetables. My favorite vegetable right now is broccoli sprouts because it's salad season. I can grow them myself, and they are packed with nutrients. I think I have a blog post all about broccoli sprouts, so you can go to my blog and check that out. And just eating high fat, all that fat will make your skin shine and glow, because back in the day when everything was low fat, non-fat, you had nothing like to lubricate, and everything just kind of dried out. And I'm talking everything. Okay, get it? Exercise is tip number 4. So we're not talking being a chronic cardio queen. I used to teach Zumba, and these ladies came day after day to Zumba, and no offense to Zumba, I freaking love Zumba, but their bodies didn't change. Okay, so number 1, you cannot out exercise a crappy diet, and number 2, you need strength training and you need rest. And so many women are afraid to lift weights because they don't want to bulk up. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, it is very, very difficult to bulk up. I've been lifting for several years, and I love lifting heavy, love lifting to failure, and I am not bulky by any means. If I have any bulk on me, it's not because of muscle, it's because of fat and fluff. And that is just stored energy that we can actually use. And when you do a keto diet, your body actually literally burns your fat for fuel. So it is fantastic. So my recommendation for exercise ideally would be 2 days minimum of full body weightlifting, and keep 2 days in between to rest. And then I do 3 days of cardio. And I'm not talking chronic cardio where you're just, on the bike or the elliptical or something like that. I'm talking like HIIT, where you get your heart rate up really hard and then you let it slow down, and then you go really hard and then you slow down. And that is really important, number 1, to boost your cardio strength. You want your cardio, your heart is a muscle and you want to make that muscle stronger, and that's by challenging it. And let's face it, you guys, that elliptical is not literally challenging it. That's why you can do it for an hour, because it's not really, punching you in the gut and making you work hard. Running sprints is hard. Running and doing the elliptical. And the other thing about that machine that I hate, and also the bike. The bike is great if you combine it with other things, but alone it's not. And I know a lot of people, myself included, that used to ride the bike for 2 hours a day to burn fat. And what it does is it takes your cardio away from doing weight-bearing exercises, which boost bone density. So walking outside is way better than sitting your butt on a bike and spinning. I will tell you that big time, unless you're doing a spin class and it's HIIT and it's getting your body way up and then dropping it way down and getting your heartbeat way up and then dropping it way down. Okay, that is okay, but you really want weight-bearing exercises. So lifting weights, walking, and let me think. Running, anything that your feet are touching the ground and the energy from the ground is coming up against your bones, okay? So that is super important. And the other thing with chronic cardio is your body will go, oh, this is what she's doing, and it holds on and it adapts, and it will actually hold on to energy stores and fat because it knows what you're doing. Time for a drink of water. Actually, it's wine. Haha. French wine, of course. Okay, number 5, use makeup sparingly. I'm going to be really honest about makeup. Actually, there's a couple things I want to say about makeup. So makeup and skincare, you want to be very, very careful with this. Please make sure that your products do not contain parabens or phthalates. That's PHT. Gosh darn it. Okay, I'm going to have to search that up. I forgot how to spell it. Phthalates. It's like PHTLATES or something like that. So you want to make sure that your skincare does not have parabens or phthalates, because they are just not good stuff. So parabens have actually been linked to breast cancer, and in many, I can't remember the exact percentage, but most breast tumors have traces of parabens in them. And there's a huge movement about it. You can go on skindeep.org and they will talk about it, but please make sure nothing has parabens. But Skin Deep's a great resource, and it's been put out by the Environmental Working Group, and you can look up lots of products on there. They also have a list called the Dirty Dozen, which are vegetables and fruits that you want to make sure you buy organic. If organic is not in your budget, at least buy the Dirty Dozen in organic, because they are the highest pesticide crops out there. And so Environmental Working Group will give you advice on skincare as far as what is paraben free and things like that. But you can also, ask around at your natural stores. But I will tell you that I just don't recommend most commercial products, because oftentimes they replace the parabens with equally harmful chemicals, and we just don't know what they are. Like BPA. Everybody knows what BPA is, right? But did you know that BPS is used in substitution for BPA? And it is 5 times as harmful or something, but nobody knows about the word. Nobody knows about BPS, so nobody asks about it, and nothing is BPS free. So you just want to avoid plastic altogether. It is bad news. And the other thing is the plastic contains estrogen mimickers, and those are equally as bad as parabens, right? So things like, water bottles and the liners of cans, if you buy canned food and it has this white plastic liner, that is a no-no. And I'm trying to think of the other estrogen. Soy and flax are really high estrogen. Anything that consumes glyphosate. So there's all these different things. Okay, I'm totally going down a rabbit trail here. We're talking about makeup. So the other thing is I still haven't done it, but I'm looking to go. There is a store in a mall here in San Jose that is called 100% Pure, and I'm going to go there and get a makeover and see if they apply my makeup nicely, because I don't wear hardly any makeup. I probably wear a little too much eyeliner because I'm still an 80s girl, but all I wear is a powder on my face and an eyeliner and a mascara and a little bit of bronzer, and that's it. And I really want to find a way to do natural eyeshadow looking so that when I do videos and things, it looks more professional. But every single time I put on eyeshadow, I feel overly made up. So I believe that getting a professional makeup artist to show you how to apply makeup that is most flattering for your age is really, really important. Next, we're going to talk about hair. Okay? So take a look in the mirror and look at your hair and note what you like about it and then note what you don't like about it. One of my biggest pet peeves is gray because I feel like if I were to go gray, I'm going to look like way older. And a funny thing I joke about is one of my friends, really, really young, decided to let her hair grow and she went gray. And her little son says, "Oh, great, Mom. Now you're going to die soon." I just still laugh about that because think about it. We do look older when we're gray. I'm sorry if you're offended by that, but there's no way around it. That's one of the biggest signs. And it is kind of sexist, right? Men look more dashing or whatever when they're gray and women just look old. And I have to say that I think men look old when they're gray too, but whatever. I told my husband, I've bought my husband one year Grecian formula. I stuck it in his stocking. I thought it was funny. He didn't. He was like, yeah, whatever. But anyways, so one of the things I love is this compact by Madison Reed, and it is like this little powder, and they will do like color matching, and you want to get a darker shade than your normal hair color, but in between your colors, you can dab it down your part line, dab it on your hairline so that you can stretch your color, okay? And it's all natural, it's really healthy, and it's really good. And some other things is find a hairstyle that looks really good on you. I happen to like long hair and I like it styled. So most days I curl my hair and then that way it looks, more proper and more stylish. And when I wear it straight, I feel like I just look drained, but that's because it's long. And so when it's shorter and straight, it looks better, but when it's long and straight, so go to a professional and find something, but do me a favor. Don't do one of those old lady haircuts. Okay. And I know that if you're listening to my show, you probably would never do that. Okay. But I think about like women in my mother-in-law has this club. It's called Women in Touch. And I seriously have said this before, but I wish it was a national club because it is fantastic. She does so many fun things. Like they do a monthly luncheon and that's like they have entertainment. They'll have a fashion show or a musician they always have fun entertainment. And then then there's all these little offset groups from the main group. Like there's a bunco group and a bocce ball group and a poker group. And they go see all their local plays. And sometimes they'll go and rent a bus and they'll go out of town and do fun things. They've gone on cruises. This group is amazing. But anyways, if you look in that room, I would say the age range is anywhere between my age, which is, 52, and let's see, maybe 100. I don't know. They go way up there. But if you look at those ladies, the ones that have the gray, curly, fluffy I can't remember what my kids call it. But those are the ones that they call it Baki's afro. That's what they call it. They say, "Are you going to go get an afro today?" Because they do the perm and they back comb it and all that. Like we just don't want to do that. Okay, so I think I have 3 more tips. And the first one is do not smoke. I don't care what you're smoking. Everything's legal here in California, it seems. But I really believe that you just need not smoke. It actually makes you look so much older. And honestly, I don't know why, but it just does. It's a proven fact. And too much alcohol does the same exact thing. Now, you know me. I love my wine, especially my French wine. So I think a little bit of French wine or Italian wine, which is very low in chemicals, sugar, and alcohol, is actually going to be heart healthy if you don't overdo it. Okay, that's the secret. Don't overdo it. And as far as hard alcohol spirits, I know a lot of you guys probably love vodka. I know a lot of girls like the vodka soda, low carb thing. But quite frankly, I don't do vodka because vodka is made with either grains or corn, or occasionally potatoes. And grains are sprayed with glyphosate, which is highly estrogenic, and it is so unsafe for you. And then you have the corn vodka, which is also like genetically modified. I mean, most corn on the planet is genetically modified. So why are you going to want to put that in your body? And the potato, okay, I'll give you the potato vodka, but the rest are pretty crappy. So the tequila, actually, though, it comes from agave, and it's only grown in a certain area of Mexico, and it's from a green plant. And quite frankly, at least I think it's green, I don't love the taste of it, but if you mix it with a little bit of lime juice, a little bit of club soda, and a little bit of stevia drops, it doesn't taste that bad, but it's cleaner. It's also been known as the tonic. It's like the fat burning tonic is tequila. And my husband, who's, very healthily, like he's at a good body composition, and he's actually lost, gosh, how much has he lost? A lot, like overpriced 70 pounds. And anyways, he likes his tequila. Now he doesn't drink often, but on the weekends, he likes to drink his tequila. So anyways, but what I'm trying to say is, do not drink too much, and definitely do not smoke at all. And if you're going to have a cocktail, just make sure that you do not put any sugar in it, as that is really inflammatory, and it will just make everything get inflamed and make you look bad. And then there's two more things. One is water. Please make sure you're drinking enough water. I highly recommend a gallon a day, but at the very minimum, you want to make sure that you have a half an ounce per pound of body weight. Now, so that means if you weigh 100 pounds, you're going to want to have at least 50 ounces. So, but I don't think any of you guys probably weigh 100 pounds unless you're really teeny tiny and really short and small. But that's just an example. So say if you weigh 150 pounds and you want 75 ounces, but I really recommend having a full gallon, because most people, like 95, it's like a really high percentage, are chronically dehydrated and they don't even know it, because once you start feeling thirsty, you're already dehydrated. And most people just always say, oh yeah, I don't drink enough water. But here's some tips to make sure you get enough. So first thing in the morning, hydrate. Have a 16-ounce glass of water, a little bit of salt, a little bit of lemon, and that will really, really help your adrenal function, help you alkalinize your body, as well as get some hydration. And then you grab a liter of ice water. I always use stainless steel or glass, never ever use plastic. And then, head off to the gym, right? So those of you guys who know me know that that's my routine. So what I recommend is have a liter by 9, a liter by 12, another by 3, and another by 6. And what if you hate water? Well, you can make bubble water, which I love. So I have a soda stream and I do a lot of bubble water. You can add lemon or lime or, any other types of thing to make it taste good. Just no aspartame or Splenda. And there's stevia drops that you can use if you want to have it sweet. I just like it plain, nothing in it, just plain bubble water. Or you can make infused water. So you can do that by adding cucumbers, mint, lemon, lime. I've seen rosemary, basil, oranges, strawberries, and you just stick a glass vessel of water in your refrigerator overnight, fill it with whatever you want, and then strain it in the morning, and you've got amazing tasting water. And third, you can do tea. I love iced tea. Now, I don't love just plain old black tea. I like passion tea, and I like the Trader Joe's Autumn Harvest. So passion tea is great for summer, and then the Autumn Harvest Trader Joe's one is great for the rest of the year. I have the cold years, like the fall and winter is when I like that one. And I have an iced tea maker, so I am constantly making iced tea all the time just to give that water a little bit of flavor and just give a little bit of spice. And it's really, really good. And I have never had anybody tell me, oh gosh, I feel so bad because I drank too much water. Nope, that's never happened. Some people will argue with me, oh, you don't need to drink water. Well, I say phooey on you. Drink your water and you'll be happy and healthy. Your skin will be plump and hydrated. Not that you want to be plump, but you know what I mean. And you'll look way better and you'll feel way more better. And then what I also say to people is if you think you're hungry, you might be dehydrated. So just drink some water first and then reassess and see if you're really hungry or if you were just thirsty. And I think the last tip is to supplement. Most people do not supplement, and it is super duper important to supplement your diet because many people, well, everyone, almost everyone does not get the nutrients they need from their food. My husband is a farmer. He gets it. He knows. He takes supplements religiously every morning and every night. And I'll tell you the deal. So the farmland is diminishing. So their lack of rotation to get the natural nutrients of the crops is just not happening. And we are only replacing NPK, niacin, potassium, and phosphorus, as far as the mineral replacements on the fertilizer on the plants. And we are using herbicides and pesticides. And so we're like killing a lot of stuff in the plants, and our food is just not as nutrient dense as it used to be. So I implore you to supplement. Take a multivitamin, multi-mineral, fish oil. I also do vitamin D, especially in the winter, because I'm out in the sun a lot in the summer, or in the, when it's warm here, and it was 98 today. So, but the thing is that we need sunshine, because that is the best form of vitamin D that we can get, and that's the happy vitamin. So you want to make sure that you do your vitamin D. And when you have sunscreen on, it actually inhibits the absorption of vitamin D. So you want to be outside every day for like 15-20 minutes without sunscreen, showing your arms, your face, and as much skin as you can. Now, if you're dark skinned like me, if you're tan, or if you have a nationality that your skin is naturally dark, then you might need more, because that acts as a sort of a sunscreen, and it inhibits the vitamin D absorption into your skin as well. Okay? Hope that makes sense. And then the other hormone I love, or the other supplement I love, is my human growth hormone supplement. And that is a topical, microdosed homeopathic HGH supplement. It also has thyroid and adrenal boosters in it. Okay. So it is really good for your body. I'm telling you, the health benefits are absolutely amazing. So, and it's like the fountain of youth. I mean, it's like anything and everything. Well, not anything and everything, but many, many, many age-related symptoms are shown to have a positive response to human growth hormone. So you might want to check it out. Anyways, I hope you learned a lot today on how you can look and feel younger. And my program for women that I'm working on right now is called Aging Stronger. So I'm hoping that will be out in the semi-near future. And if you like this show, please go over to iTunes and give us a rating and review, and subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. And thank you so much for listening, you guys. Have a great day. This podcast contains the opinion and thoughts of its host and guests. It is intended to provide helpful and informative material on the subjects covered. All statements made on the podcast have not been evaluated by the FDA and are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent disease. If the listener requires professional assistance or advice, please contact your personal medical doctor. Both host and guest specifically disclaim any responsibility for any liability, loss, or risk, personal or otherwise, which is incurred as a consequence directly or indirectly of the use and application of any of the contents of these episodes. Like I said, this is my opinion, and I could be wrong.